Good morning.
Good morning.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. Can you spell that for me? Sure. Yep, that sounds about right.
It's really it sounds.
Can I have the country of origin, please?
It's
Netherlands, I think.
it's varied.
Lots of places.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how'd the game start for you?
Started on a very high note, I think. And then we just kind of proceeded from there.
Uh-huh. And what direction did we proceed?
Down.
Down. So the game versus the Netherlands ended positively, I guess.
But it was a journey.
It was a journey.
It was a journey to get there.
And it started well.
Started really well. I think Vlatko really had us going in those group stages and was just kind of like, haha.
See?
Punked ya.
Ashton Kutcher, Vlatko.
Just put that Von Dutch hat back on backwards. Wow. And yeah.
And then what happened?
And then Vivian Miedema got some space.
This much space.
Out of a pin. And buried a goal. And then it seemed like we just kind of backed off a bit.
Sure did. Seemed like we went back to group stages.
Just a little bit.
Attitudes a little bit.
Yeah.
A little reserved, a little less aggressive, and like straight on, we're coming at you football.
Which was strange, because it seemed like the lineup was built for, we're going to be in your face and all over the place. And then the substitutions came on, and it was like, never mind.
There were a whole line change of substitutions.
Yes, just as the game was tied.
Which was interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's a long game. Was tied at the time, and so not looking like we were avoiding extra time, but Vlatko said, send them all in.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go for the win by changing everything entirely. So that was
interesting to me.
It's a strategy. It was a head scratcher, but it was a scratch.
You're literally scratching your head.
It was a scratch-titty.
Scratch-titty?
Yeah.
Who did they take out that you were upset about?
Lynn Williams. Why? Why are we gonna take her out? She
was on fire.
NBA Jam's
on fire.
Yeah, she got the hot hand. Why are you gonna take out the player with the hot hand? Why?
For context, she had the assist on the first goal and scored the second goal. Game was tied 2-2, and out she goes. Who would you have taken out instead?
I would have taken Tobin Heath out. She hasn't really, for me, she hasn't really earned that spot for me for that full 90.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just taken too much time on the ball. I think she's not making the smartest passes. I think she's not making the runs, because that's not really what Tobin Heath does. She's really here to bring the vibes.
No passing, just vibes.
Just vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. The Tobin we saw in the warm-up games, we've said before, we were very impressed by. And that doesn't seem to be the Tobin we're seeing now. And that leaves us with some questions, but I would agree that I would have rather seen Lynn Williams keep going.
Yeah.
I want a Lynn Williams hat trick, is what I wanted. And
Yep.
Nope,
None of that.
none for us.
None of that. Yeah, I think Kristen Press should have came on for sure, but Lynn Williams definitely should have stayed.
Yeah. So then we move into the second half. Things are staying pretty tied.
Scoring goals, but not necessarily counting.
Yeah, that did happen. There were a lot of those, and have been a lot throughout the tournament.
Makes you wonder.
What's going on with all the offsides, guys?
Have we been getting away with that for a while?
That is kind of my question with the stricter enforcement of offside now that VAR's in play. Is that something we've gotten away with for a long time? Should we roll back the tape, or maybe destroy the tape so no one else asks this question?
Don't look too hard at it. Is that what we...
I mean, I would expect everyone has gotten away with some in the past.
Sure.
But
is it us? Especially us?
Probably. Based on the numbers we're seeing now, seems like it.
Yikes,
10
guys.
this tournament?
Yeah, I don't know what it is we're doing, but it needs to stop. If we want to win medals, we need to win 2 more games. So whatever it is to bring everyone in synchronization.
Any suggestions?
Meditation, trust falls, a high ropes course,
Some classic team building.
Classic team building exercises, I think, can just really get us all on the same page.
And for what it's worth, social team, I would watch a U.S. women's national team at a ropes course.
I would
video,
watch that.
100%.
100%.
It would be funny.
It would be a lot of fun.
But yeah, maybe it would help improve communication so that we stop being offside.
Stop doing that, please.
Mostly because it hurts our hearts. We can't handle the yay, goal, not a goal.
Yay, no.
Yay, goal, not a goal. It's
Especially
hard.
when it happens in extra time. Jesus.
Yeah, that's rude. Before we got to extra time, there was a penalty.
There was, my goodness, with what was
For
it,
the Netherlands.
5 minutes left?
A tackle in the box that we couldn't quite see the replay of because the replays were wholly uninformative.
Why would we have replays showing us what we wanted to see? Why
Can't
would we
imagine.
have that?
Couldn't possibly imagine. But it wasn't good. And thankfully, neither was the penalty. Alyssa Nair did a great job, went the right direction, which is most of the challenge when it comes to saving a penalty. But the penalty also wasn't great from Martins, right? It was Martins?
Yeah, like Martins.
Yeah. So that wasn't, it was not as far in the corner as I would want it to be. There wasn't as much power on it.
But still,
Rather
safe.
savable. Alyssa Nair came through, did her part, and that was great. Thanks, Unk. I'm this close to getting an uncle tattoo somewhere of just in reference to Nair. And that's all it'll say is just uncle. And
Just get it right on the bicep for...
yeah, exactly. And then that sent us into extra time, basically. That was the last real opportunity we saw, or the closest. And there we went into extra time and then to penalties.
there was chaos happening all day, and I like observing chaos for other people, but I don't necessarily want it to happen to me.
Ah, yes. This is where we differ a bit, is I want chaos for everyone. My heart's gone in terms of this sport. It is, I'm just make me feel something, please. And this game came close, I'm not gonna lie.
Nothing, Viv Minova missed, was saved and you felt nothing.
I felt sad for Viv. Which isn't how I'm supposed to feel in that scenario
But you felt something.
a little bit, but
There's something there.
that glimmer. But then I just go back to okay. My thing is US, please don't drag this out and then lose to Canada.
Yeah.
If you're gonna lose. But if you're gonna win, please show up and do it demonstrably soon because
Please, for the love of God.
I can't live in limbo like this.
I can't do this
I need
anymore.
some confidence, and this is hard. So
Yeah, especially if for the next game, the semifinals, of course, are going to be a 4 a.m. game.
on a Monday.
On a Monday, Eastern Standard Time, or team up all night for the West Coast. So
You guys are doing great. Keep up the good work.
keep up the good work. What do you want to see
In that game,
in that game?
I want them to come out, and I do think if a game can flip that switch, it might be Canada. Because there is a rivalry there that goes outside of Olympics, outside of World Cups. It is, neighborly rivalry, which is fun. And I think that might awaken that, fire a little bit more. It might be, the extra log on top that puts it over the top and gets the pieces finally working. And the other piece there is Christine Sinclair had a penalty today.
Ooh.
And did not score.
Did not score.
And so there might be some shaky confidence there. I don't expect it because she's a pro and the best and all of the respect. Mm-hmm. But I think if there's a time to capitalize and start eating up the competition, it's this next game.
Yeah. Also, Steph Lave is physically getting her butt kicked.
How so?
Right before the penalties at the end of extra time, she got high-load and got crunched. So
and she's tall, so that's bad or worse if you're tall. I feel because there's more bending.
Just so much.
Yeah, that's not good. So yeah, that's what I want to see in the next game. I want some confidence. Most of it, and that goes for the lineup. Vlatko, That
Vlatko.
goes for the scoreline. That goes for none of this offside nonsense. Let's go do it. If you're the best team in the world, if that's the, moniker you're going to put on, show it. Because right now, I'm less convinced.
Yeah. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Speaking of things we'd love to see, we are going to have to get up early.
Yep, that's true.
For another game. So we're still working on this. How do we stay awake? How do we keep ourselves, active and engaged in those downtimes? And thought we'd take some inspiration of the actual game we're watching.
Yeah,
do some physical activity. Oh, hello there.
Hi.
What you doing?
Well, I got this soccer ball, and I don't really know what to do with it, because soccer was never really my thing growing up.
Well, why is that?
Because I tried to play soccer at my local church league, and we signed up too late, so they sent me a rejection letter.
A rejection letter? Like on paper?
It was a written letter.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's kind of harsh.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
But it's never too late.
Really?
Yeah, we can learn to play soccer right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Like soccer, like the pros and the U.S. women's national team?
I mean, we might not be at that level yet,
Okay.
but we can play.
Okay, I need basics. I want the orange slices. I want the games of kicky uppies.
It's keepy uppies. We'll let you keep it. Most
Okay.
Americans just call it juggling, but at least we did back in my day. But call it keepy uppies. It's fun.
It is. It's whimsical. I like it.
It is. Keep that. Yeah, we can get started on keepy uppies today. We can get you to 5 in 10 minutes, I think.
10 minutes. Okay. That sounds
Maybe
like
15,
a lot. That
but,
sounds like a lot of
10
pressure.
minutes, yeah. I think you can do it.
Okay. I've only maybe done 3 ever.
Oh,
And
so you're more than halfway there, is what you're telling me.
okay. It's a lot of pressure, but you believe in me, and
I definitely believe in you.
and I love you.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. So first thing you're gonna do is get your ball.
Ball.
Great start.
Doing great.
Okay, so the way I like to start, especially when I'm new at this or haven't played in a while, is I like to toss it to myself, just down to my foot. So the way I usually do it is put a little backspin on it. That helps the ball come back to you when it hits off of anything. So think of it kind of like being a basketball player taking a free throw. Cool WNBA players, but you're just gonna do one of those. And see if you can get it to land a foot in front of you. Just, right about there. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna do, stick your foot out there, right about where the ball just bounced. And then you're gonna toss it again,
Oof.
and then you're gonna kick it back up to yourself. Couple of tips. Keep the knee that's not kicking the ball bent a little bit. Yeah, and you got some stability there. You wanna be able to stand on one foot. Ooh, yeah. So you wanna be able to stand on one foot. You're gonna put this foot out there a little bit. You want to lock your ankle, so it shouldn't be all willy-nilly. I can't do it. You want it to point towards you a little bit, and you just wanna kick it a little bit. Gravity's gonna do most of the work. You don't have to be too strong. You're just gonna kick it back into your own hands. Be gentle.
Gentle.
You're passing to yourself.
Bullseye.
Bullseye's great. Set yourself up for success. And catch it. There you go. Okay, so do that a couple more times. Great. Good hands. Good. A little softer. There you go. Great. That was perfect. Okay, so now you're gonna do the same thing, but you're just gonna try to do it twice in a row. If you want, you can do it on one leg and do it twice in a row. Or if you're smart, especially if you're just getting started, you can do opposite feet. I have a bad left foot still because I didn't start with both feet right away. So
But I'm fresh.
you're fresh.
And new.
So now's the time. Set long-term success, alternate feet.
Starts here.
So you can just do 1, 2. That was great.
That
You
counts.
did 2. Okay. Do you have any questions?
So I just keep doing that.
You just keep doing that. That's the biggest thing about juggling is practice.
All right.
It helps as a thing to walk away from your phone and walk away from the TV. Maybe if a particular soccer team is stressing you out.
Not naming names.
Not naming any names.
No names.
Mm-mm. But, you know, you want to go for a walk and kick something. Juggling.
The soccer ball is here for you.
And it's fitness. And it'll keep you awake. Those early 4 o'clock.
4 a.m. games.
Yep. You ready to try a few more?
Let's do this. Can she do 3?
She can do 3.
Twos.
4! You skipped 3. That was great. That was great. Okay, you're at 4.
She got 4.
4.
I'm just surprised when it's close to my face.
Yep. That's true for me too.
I just don't.
Most sports don't involve hitting things with your head.
I'm not used to the ball.
That's a normal reaction. 3 with the header.
She's coming back.
There she goes. She's getting momentum. Well, you had to go back and get 3 because you skipped it before. You went from 2 to 4. So you were just
Had to come back for it.
3.
Had to climb the ladder.
Exactly. There you go.
It's a handball. It's a handball. It's on me.
It's okay.
It's me. It's me.
You are in the box, so I'm gonna have to take a penalty after this, but that's fine.
Fair.
That's 5. That's 5.
And a goal!
Let's go.
Ah!
You did it.
That counts, right?
Yeah, that's 5 touches.
Yeah, right. I'll take that.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Your celebration is off camera, but here we go. You have to do it again for us. It's not most of it, I'm sure, but. I'm gonna need a knee slide.
I don't know if this is wet enough for a knee
Definitely
slide.
not, but I'm gonna need a celebration of some sort.
I just did a somersault, man.
Have you not yet learned that this sport never stops asking for more? Emotionally, physically.
A draining sport.
Oh, she's still going. All right. I just meant the celebration you were
Can't
gonna have
just
to do.
do the moment again without doing it.
I respect the purity of your endeavor. Maybe you just need that ball back. Maybe. I'm out of balls. Six.
You did it.
I did it.
You did it.
I did it. Mwah. My babe.
My babe.
How do you feel?
I feel amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Feel like you accomplished something?
I feel like I did something.
You did.
I did. That's pretty neat.
That's pretty great. That feels nice.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you.
Soccer's all right.
Yeah.
I'll have another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, champ. How'd that feel?
You know, it was a team effort. Everybody just really went hard for the 15 minutes and gave 100% and really just left it all out in the field. And really couldn't have asked for more from anyone else. I had all my folks out there. I really got to thank my wife for throwing all those balls in my face. And yeah, it was a really great team effort. I'm really proud of what we did here.
What are you gonna do next?
I'm gonna go lay down in the back seat of our Subaru, and yeah.
Great. Thanks so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You did it.
I did.
I'm so proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do it.
You know, it's never too late.
It's never too late, and now you can keep building your soccer skills.
And you know who else is really good at soccer skills?
Who?
The folks at Shea Butter FC, Skye and Sylvs, who take us to soccer school every week on their pod. Shea Butter FC, it's Skye and Sylvs. Let's go.
Skye, how does it feel to be right all along this whole week? You've been saying, guys, relax. This is all part of the plan.
Okay, so like I said, relax. But what happened today? Whoa, what happened today? That wasn't the latter part. The second half wasn't the plan. But yeah. I was like, relax. So
Yeah, well, the first part, they came out of the gate and it was like, oh, we know this team. We know this team that came out.
yeah.
Yes.
But then,
I mean, yeah.
but then there were some substitutions that happened that were perhaps a little
Like no, don't take the.
Why would you take Lynn Williams out when Lynn Williams is scoring the goals and the assists? Why would you do that?
Why would you take out Sam Ewis when she's actually helping put size in the midfield and they can't just like run through?
Makes sense.
I was confused by Lynn also because I guess he presented it as I guess he tried to say penalty kicks. I'm like,
yeah, he said
we've been playing for penalties.
Yeah, he said something weird in the post conference that was like, well, you kind of have to prepare for the future and for future games and for penalties, but like
at 57 minutes,
right? Exactly.
Like this was her first game,
right? She's played 16 minutes. She's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, because I was like, if you put her, because I was like, okay, wow, Sam plays great with Lynn. Of course, they play on the same team. So keep that together wherever that goes on the field. Keep snacks together on that side of the pitch.
Snacks package deal. Keep them together.
Yeah, keep them together. Don't try to put Sam with Kristen because in the first game, I think when I look back at it, it was like Sam was trying to figure out how to play with Kristen instead of actually dropping back to defend to protect Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when everything was off the rails. But if you keep Sam with Lynn, then it's like, oh, that's beautiful. That's great. So they put Lindsay or whoever behind Kristen and just put all them on the field. And then at some point, kids, you got to keep Julie Ertz because the right side of the back line was struggling. Was bad. Then if you got to keep Julie Ertz in and you can't get too crazy yet until you got 5 goals, because we need 5 goal separation because Meadham was up here scoring goals. That should not happen.
Just dancing on the head of a pin. Just doing
just do it. That shouldn't happen. So if we're gonna do that, we got to keep Julie back there to protect the back line. Then at least just put somebody centrally.
Yes,
Kirsty, anybody, somebody to go for it.
We have another Mewis. Why don't we use her?
I would use her,
and she runs centrally, and she gets in the box.
Yeah,
but I'm like, at least just wait until you at least had Kristen, Sam, Lynn on the field at the same time, just to create chances. Because there were issues where either, particularly Carly was getting held up So she wasn't coming in the box, but Lynn was in the box. Or Sam was in the box. Or in the case of Tobin, somebody else was in the box, but you needed one more person in the box to score the ball. So you would, at least with Kristen, she would drift somewhere and at least appear. Or she would be the person who serviced the Lynn or the Sam or anybody and just get the 3 goals and then take them out.
This would have been the game to do Crystal and Z, Kristen on the left.
Yes.
Like this would have been the game for that. And if you play Kristen and Lynn at the same time, you stretch a defense.
I would have been on the floor.
And like that Dutch back line's been shaky all tournament.
They've been like the most scored on.
Right. I would want that speed on the ball running at my back line pretty consistently. Particularly, they're missing their best defender, right? So I don't understand his aversion to playing Lynn and Kristen at the same time. I don't know why you're saving that at this point.
Is he? You think he's just like overthinking things?
Oh yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I will say this: if he thought because you're gonna play Brazil or Canada, and then you knew it was gonna be Canada, and you know what happens with Canada, you were then trying to preserve Kristen, because I didn't realize how tired Kristen was until it was about the 70th minute, and I was like,
until she like all of a sudden she just stopped being able to outrun people and like, oh no,
I was like, oh no, oh shit, this is bad.
She's human again.
So I was like, okay, so you're trying to preserve people. This isn't good. So I get what you're trying to do for Canada, and then the cumulative effect that happens in the gold, whatever medal game y'all playing, right? It better be gold. But it's like you needed to have all those players on the field so that they could score. But yeah, it would have been nice if you didn't have the Kristen, Lindsay, Crystal, that you had Lynn, Sam. We're gonna ignore that back there. And then you had Alex.
9 players.
You had 9.
It's fine.
You had 9 players?
Yeah, we played with 9 today.
Even Abby would be fine. The liability at right back is so bad. It's like that.
I think he wasn't banking. I don't think he was banking on Abby Dahlkemper for having the yips all of a sudden. Like that was a pretty certain position.
We were talking about this with Bria the other day. Like, since when did we worry about Abby Dahlkemper?
I don't know. Maybe she's hurt. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's something. Is she hurt? And we don't know, because that's the stuff you do when you're hurt. You had those.
But
or are you
she's not reading it?
Or you overthinking because you know Chris. Well, so the issue also is Kelly O'Hara is up playing forward and in the midfield.
She's trying to be Abby, but she's not.
Abby's having to be a center back. Yeah, Abby's having to be a center back, fullback on an area that they're purposely exploiting if they're not trying to go after Crystal. So it's like Abby's having to overthink. And then
I see that.
So I mean, that's part of the issue. And then the balls appear immediately because Kelly does something crazy, and Kelly's not sprinting back. And so that's why I was going to have Lynn in, because it was like, I missed the play, because Tobin's not all the way back healthy, so she's not doing it yet. Where I missed where the right winger was actually dropping back and putting in the work, and effectively multiple times arrived right before Kelly to do the fullback job. Like,
Lynn was definitely playing right back today.
Yeah.
Like there was a moment where I was like, is Lynn Williams playing right back?
She's playing forward. Yeah. So it'd been nice if you then had Kristen Press on the other side, stretching the thing, and she could have kicked. And they play together. They play off each other. This is why this is crazy. Like, stop stressing us out.
And he talked about the, pressing and wanting to use those particular players, right? Because the Dutch had seen the press essentially with either like Alex Tobin Kristen or like Kristen Rose, like that, and who triggered it. So they figured out sort of that sequence. But I don't think who he put in was better. Like I'm a little confused. And Tobin was still drifting right? She's on the right naturally. Like she's not. Yeah. So you basically had 2 right wing players, and she was always going to drift that way. So it really did leave that front left wing area open until you brought Kristen in. There were a lot of choices. Having said that, I think for most of the game we played, we were the better team.
Yes.
I think the Dutch had some good spells. And listen, Edom was great. Like she's good. I'm happy for her in that she's sort of getting that bugaboo of you don't score in big games, because there's validity to that. But she scored against the United States today. I definitely think Alyssa could have done better with the second one.
Yeah, she should have only scored one. It should have only been one.
Yeah, but I mean, Alyssa also very much made up for it.
She did her part to claw back.
When it was time, like I knew once she saved that Miedema penalty, we were good.
Yeah, oh man,
I really did. I still watched with my eyes closed, but like I felt good. And honestly, when did we become a team that was good at penalties? I was just very.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I was very shocked.
I'm surprised when I heard
it kicked out in penalties.
They were like, never again. They were waiting their whole life for this. Never again. No, they were 4 really, now that I've been able to watch without the stress and with my eyes wide open, they were 4 very good penalties.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
They were really, really good. I was like, wow, we come a long way.
Look at us putting a boot behind a ball.
Exercising our demons, and then, listen.
Let's never have those demons appear. Like they shouldn't.
I would rather win in regulation.
Yes, let's win in fucking regulation.
I mean, like it looked for a second like they were gonna run away with it. Like we're up like 2-1 and absolutely rolling, and then offside.
Oh.
Well, so today I'm wondering about the line judge because I was like,
they are too.
Really offsides? Yeah. Okay, so that's how I knew Kristen was tired because she ran off the first one. Yes, it was offsides.
Yeah.
But then the second one that she got called offsides on. If I knew Lindsay was super tired because normally Lindsay would have waited for Kristen to drift back on sides and then would have kicked that ball forward and then that would have been a goal. And everybody else, even the Dutch, were tired because I was like, that's about to be a goal when that connects. But Lindsay quickly shot the ball. And I'm like, can y'all calm down? Y'all can win in extra time and we all got a penalty kick.
Yeah, they've seemed exhausted most of this tournament.
So it was like they were thinking, even Megan Rapinoe, it's like Kristen and Alex are open in the box because everybody's tired. Just kick that. Don't try to score. Kick the ball. Service a pretty ball. It don't have to be pretty. Just kick it. So it ends in extra time. We don't go to penalty kicks, but no.
And honestly, that pass over the top was there, right? They just couldn't stay onside, but that was open most of the match.
Wait. So that's what I said. Alex was on sides, and that's what tripped me out because
because
I'm like, what is offsides? Because the Dutch player, she turned wide. So it kept Alex on sides, and actually, Alex was actually looking to stay on sides.
Didn't she kick her foot back?
And then she kicked her foot back. So then it was sequences. So she was on sides when it arrived, and then in the other process where she could have went off sides, the player kicked the ball. So I thought that then it's a ball in play. So
we also don't know what they're using. Like they're not like drawing the lines or anything.
Yeah, there's no, they don't show anything. So
they're just kind of looking at a screen and going,
they're like, you know what, the US doesn't have enough.
I don't know.
Alex Morgan seems particularly frustrated at this point. So, and I don't blame her because I think about 3 of those have been hers. So,
like I could be in this golden boot conversation, but
you could.
Well, you don't want to be in the golden boot conversation because you're not playing anymore. If you're
right. Well, yeah, that's true. Everybody who has the golden boot,
they're
gonna have to. They're gonna get
golden
a
home.
UPS golden boot.
Cursed conversation.
Yeah. So, I mean, congrats, but at the end of the day, I think they would much rather have the medal. So
yeah.
But now we move ahead, of course, to the semifinals. We've got Canada. Did you expect it to be Canada?
It was always going to be Canada, wasn't it?
No, because I couldn't go to sleep. So I watched the game. Brazil should have won that game in regulation.
Well, you're on the West. You guys are on the West Coast. Like, how are you guys like handling watching these games?
I woke up like toward the end of Canada. Brazil.
I watched the whole thing because I couldn't go to sleep. I
didn't watch the whole thing. So I woke up to that madness. And then I feel like it was still 0-0, or I woke up right when Ellen White scored. And I was like, oh, that's going to be over. And then that just turned into...
that turned
was not over.
Yeah. I didn't even watch that disaster.
Yeah.
Well, that greatness that popped off. But the Brazil, so I woke up because I couldn't stay asleep. And I was like, oh, Brazil's going to win this game because they're all in Canada's box. And Canada seemed like they were just desperate to just like stop Brazil from scoring. And then there were several chances. Stuff got called offsides. It was kind of all over the place. But they weren't trying to kill each other. It's because they were tired. And so when I woke back up, I think I fell asleep a little bit, then woke back up. And then I was like, oh, okay. It's still 0-0. That's interesting. And then again, it was like Brazil trying to score. Nope. And it kept going on and on and on and on. And then Yeah, the substitute patterns, and particularly after Canada subbed out all their attackers towards the end, I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, okay, Brazil's going for real win, and they had for real chances, and it didn't happen. So yeah, I thought it was gonna be Brazil until penalties, but now that it's Canada looks super exhausted, like super duper. I know we were like, why did you take out Nichelle Prince? Why did you take out Deanna Rose? Seemed like normal, but she seemed the least of tired, but still super tired. Everybody else looked exhausted, like straight dying. I don't know how they're gonna play this next game. Like the cumulative effect of playing games like this is catching up to everybody, even people who attempted to rest. But Canada looks so exhausted, so it's gonna be interesting what that looks like.
And they're down a defender because I think Reverie can't play because she got 2 yellows. So so she can't play. And it's in Canada's interesting, right? One, it's going to be the battle of coaches who make weird substitution patterns.
She's like,
Canada might be worse at it than we are. So that might actually save us.
Right.
And I definitely think Kaylin Sheridan's the better goalkeeper, but also somehow if you put more duct tape on Stephanie LeBay, she seems to get better.
Apparently.
I don't know.
That's why I'm like, what is going on?
Like,
I was like,
she got crushed right before the shootout, and apparently it made her stronger, and she made 2 saves in a row. Like, who knew?
I'm like, keep her in goal because I don't want Kaylin Sheridan blocking every freaking attacker's shot. And then we go into penalties.
Keep her safe.
Yeah, keep her.
I wonder what that looks like. I wonder if they make that move though. I wonder, particularly down a defender. Labe's struggling. Like,
well, I mean, so that would be logical, but their coach hasn't been doing logical things.
There you go. Yeah.
So it's like, because I mean, so if we want to, I don't want to bring up the Jill Ellis era, but in the Jill Ellis 2015 era, there was a period of time. I think it was the game before the semifinal matchup. Everybody was like, Jill Ellis, please change your formation so that they don't lose this damn game. And they finally changed it. And then that won the semifinal, then that won the final. Right. And then she reverted in the Olympics. But whatever. I think this is the chance for Vlatko to have his breakthrough. And he puts
if we could just get through to him.
And I think he's comfortable playing Canada, right? Like I think he would be more willing to try things. And maybe put some fresher bodies on the bench for this game, just because it's Canada and we're probably going to get into a fight or kill each other or something of that nature.
Or just pass out from sheer exhaustion on both sides.
Right.
Well, I mean,
both teams went to PKs, so
and it's all good. The cards cleared, the yellow cards cleared, because that was the other problem. Because part of why I don't think Tierna Davison popped up is because she had a yellow.
Oh, did she?
I forgot. Yeah, because in the game before, there was, right before in the Australia game, all these people getting yellows left and right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize if you get 2 yellows, you get suspended. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I would put Tierna on the bench, like, because I can't risk it not being on the thing. Yeah. But you don't expect Abby
the defender who's everything's going okay. We need her
to. Yeah, and I think she'll be healthy and rested. I imagine he plays Tierna. I would hope he at least puts Casey on the bench. At this point, I don't understand. There's nothing that Kelly O'Hara does better than Casey Kruger. Nothing.
And
Casey Kruger will actually stay in the back
why
line.
Casey Kruger isn't playing more.
I don't know why she's not starting, but
well, and at least on the bench. Emily Sons gonna get a medal. Like, put her on take her off the roster.
Why put her on the bench when you're never gonna bring her in?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is she there? At least with Casey, you could go, okay, Kelly, you have slipped and slide enough. Let's put Casey back there and magically watch everything stabilize. Yeah. Although I would love if you put Tierna, pray for Abby, have Becky, and then put Casey so that you can push Crystal
Dunn. Yep. I think Crystal Dunn is going to be a midfielder after this.
Yeah, it should be. I don't know if
she's put in her time now.
It should. For Sweden, for sure, she should be, so that they don't overload. So it'd be similar to the Dutch. The Dutch thought they were going to see Kristen Press and Roosevelt. And then it was like, surprise! Hey, Lynn, what you doing? And they weren't even ready for that. I expect that to happen for Sweden.
I think the secret weapon is Kat.
Well, that too.
Interesting. Yeah, she hasn't really had a lot of time so far.
I would honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't think we need a 9. I would have her as a false 9.
Yeah.
have thoughts. Or I would put Lynn and Kristen up top and like 2. So my dream formation, and we talk about these things.
But no, give it to me. We need it. We need it for Canada.
Shout out. We believe 3-5-2 because we have enough defensive talent, I think, to be able to do that. That actually might take some pressure off of Abby. I know we don't have a lot of pace in our center backs, but I think if you maybe throw Tierney and Casey back there or in some way,
just put a couple of anchors there who can.
Right. And then Julia still gets to play pretty much her same position. I would tuck her a little bit closer to that back line just to make sure they're secure.
Just do her cannonball thing.
But it's the one way. If Sweden's going to plug in 4 in that midfield and you're plugging in 5, they're not going to be able to clog you. And Aslani's not going to be able to trap, which is really what they've been doing. And yeah, you get Crystal done out wide, right? You're able to get that. They're not able to overload in a crowded midfield. And you can get balls over the top, because if they're going to do that, they're either going to be compact if you have the speed to stretch them, but either way, that back line's going to be thin and you can just start diving balls over the top.
And then maybe we're able to like connect some passes and like actually.
You can actually just bypass the midfield if you really want to.
Right. If you get there, because Australia, I watched the Australia-Sweden game, and Australia was doing a bunch of stuff where if they're so disorganized, if they could just be organized in one game, they should have beat Sweden. And so they were doing stuff like, I'm still shocked that Sweden can't handle like lateral movement and then slants and then you rotating players. And so we did that as a team when we first played them under Vlatko in November 2019.
Yep.
Yeah. So that caused problems. Like we literally did the stuff to beat them that drives them insane. And they were on skates and fell apart. And even in the second half of that disaster class in game 1, when you had Megan Rapinoe was running laterally and then running up the field, and it was throwing them all off. And then Kristen was sliding inside, and so was Carlos, my bad. Carly.
Oh man. She's gonna search that. That's fine.
Okay, anyway, even Carly.
She hasn't blocked us yet, but there's still time.
Yeah. So even Carly, they were able, if they would have just kicked the balls and nets, it caused Sweden problems because they were all caught up, like sucked in. So if you had them 2 up top, like you can't just throw 4 people on them.
Yeah.
Like they have too much talent. They can't handle that. That's one.
And they can track back on defense. Do you think though? Part of it is he doesn't start the same lineups ever, and so there's not like
we don't know like what we don't know what's in the notebook. We don't know what his like dream team situation looks like. It's
so I don't know if
frustration I have.
I don't know if it's hard to do it because it's so hot. Because I'm like I totally get, because I lived in that kind of weather.
Sure.
Where you running in 10 miles of that kind of heat and humidity, like it's like hard to exist. And so you got to figure out, it's like like I said, the cumulative effects are going to start appearing in all these games. No matter how many times people rotated, you're going to start seeing people just exhausted. And so it's going to be the least exhausted, well-formed team is going to win a gold medal. And so it's like, you got to get them to these games, but like, it's like, do you want to go to the gold medal game?
You want to win?
Like, what's the fucking line out that's gonna get you the freaking gold medal? So, like he basically, you haven't seen the lineups because he's trying to rotate players. But I mean, the next 2 games, and he said, well, no, it's different opponents. So, I don't know what to say until we get to the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm trying to give him some grace too, because it's also his first tournament, right? Like he doesn't quite, and the Olympics are very different than the World Cup. Like you have less time. It's a really compact schedule. Obviously, they're playing in Japan where it's very hot, very humid. I think they escaped a typhoon recently. And of course, you're still playing in a pandemic, right? So there's just all sorts of things. I think the lack of crowd actually hurts the United States.
Yes. You're saying they're not used to playing in a silence.
I mean, they've been doing it, but at this point, the league, whether we should be open or not, there are fans in the stands.
Yeah. But I mean, particularly when you're tired, like people going,
you need that extra energy
instead of like, so like what a couple of them, Kristen, Alex, we're talking about how you got to like generate. It was important the team understand you're going to have to generate your own crowd hype to get yourself hyped up, even when things are going off the rails. Like, You gotta go. Yeah, let's go.
Which is why, if I were the Dutch, I would have just been quiet.
You think that did the trick for the shootout?
Yeah, I'm just like, I wouldn't poke the bear.
Right.
Right. So there's a difference between not being scared of a team that's good and being better than a team that's good. That Dutch team hasn't changed since like 2014.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're bringing in fresh young players and you're going to throw us for a loop. And they had good moments. They also have one of the best strikers in the world. And that really is why they got 2 goals. Like, it's not deeper than that.
Wait, hold on. It's defensive errors.
Oh, and that, right? Because they clearly exploited the same side everybody else exploits. Everyone on earth knows our right back is not good.
What?
I think I'm most frustrated. I think that's what frustrates me the most. Like, you've had 2 years to figure that out. And it's not like we don't have good right backs.
We have one on the bench. We have a right back on the bench that we could be
used. You have a right back on the bench. You have one in Chicago who's damn good.
Right.
And is fast and can shut down fast players and wingers.
Right. Like, is there another forward we can bring
tenacious. Down? Right. I mean, that one too, right? You have one in Gotham that can do both, right? Who I think, had she been on the team, she would have thrived today, because I just don't think they would have had anything for her. And Midge is probably the best. I have heard several people say of Midge, she's the best 1v1 striker we have, right? Like, if you put her in a 1v1 situation, she's probably going to score. Because she's just that good in those type of situations. And this would have been the game for that.
I mean, I hate to say this, but can you imagine if it would have been Kristen, Midge, and Lynn?
I would love that.
Today?
I would love a lot of things. I will say, I do think we'll blow it up after. Not blow it up, but I think there will be a nice
change. We're going to see some changes.
Even if we win, I think there's an overhaul. One, I think there's several players that'll call it a career. Because I would, if I played in that heat in Japan at 36 years old, I'd be like, and that's the last one.
That's good. I'm good. I'm
tapping out.
Thank you for the gold medal. God bless. Have fun.
I don't have anything left to win.
That's my time.
Because how hot is it going to be in New Zealand and Australia? Is it going to be hot as hell?
Yeah, there's no reason for that. Let the young kids. Yeah, that's for young people. Like, that's not. That's how I feel as a person these days. That's for young people. But yeah, I think. Listen, I love some good banter. I just think if you're gonna talk, can we curse on here? I don't want to.
You're already gonna have to beat me out.
The old adage: talk shit, get hit. Right? Like, you're gonna. Yeah. If you're gonna talk it, you should do that. And I think
back it up.
I think when they look back on it, I mean, Serena Wegman doesn't have to worry about it anymore. I guess
that's
true. Gonna go to the other. Well, she's gonna go coach another team that collapses all the time, so that's gonna be fun for her.
Yeah, she can already go. She can already practice. They're already at home. Man, I wish I could watch that game.
They are. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking. I'm like, does this mean Angelina will be playing this week? Like, when is she coming back? Like, I'm just now looking at the roster.
Like, no. All those players aren't coming back to y'all. All right, it's not happening like that.
Are you don't think Paul Riley is trying to see how fast he can get Davinia back?
Oh yeah, he's trying to see. Yeah, he's trying to see, can Davinia start like this weekend?
Give me like tonight. I need tonight.
I mean,
we'd be like, we're on a first class flight. We got you a first class flight, Davinia.
And whoever's coaching, Orlando could definitely use Marta in the midfield because they have none. So or Ali Riley, I think there's some teams now that are like, I'll take the players that I have. Back, like, please. Thank you.
We'll pamper y'all. We'll make you feel better. But please, you're playing.
I would take a few weeks off. That would be different players will do different things. Yeah. But I just think it's interesting, the sort of narrative. And I think people have been spoiled. I think 2019, and particularly new fans that have come into this. To me, this feels a lot like 2015, right?
It does.
It wasn't the best constructed team. Joe was a new coach, and their best game was the final. Like, I didn't trust that team to win until the final.
Yes.
I think they got away with it.
I think this is a blend of 2011 World Cup and 2015. Because everybody's forgetting. Because even some of these all players, I'm like, excuse me, you were part of the team that stressed me the hell out when y'all waited to the very last second to win that damn game.
Yes.
Like, we forget the Marta almost beating the United States and taking them to the final in 2011. Like, did we forget that game? I vividly remember that.
Forehead of goal, baby.
Yeah, I vividly remember, like, we're going to lose this game. I cannot believe it. And it should have ended in regulation. I cannot believe it. And then it happens. And then they turn around and losing PKs in the
That
gold
was
medal
stressful.
in the cup game. And so it's like y'all like forget the stuff. And I was like, I forget. Because even in the World Cup for 2019, like it was stressful to a point, but then they won.
Yeah.
Where this one is like, God, they're playing boo-boo. And then it's like, this always like this. It always is an ebb and flow of boo-boo.
Well, like going into it, it was just a huge winning streak and nothing but sweeping successes.
Yeah. And I think if you're new to the team, you haven't suffered yet. Right? Like you haven't done it.
Sip on the house blend of regret and just sip on that.
But the thing is, it's not as bad because like it was tripping me out when people were like, well, are they gonna go have a mutiny against Vlatko? I'm like, no. I mean, Vlatko might do some crazy stuff, but he's still intelligent in this. Like, I think this is the first time they had a coach that genuinely gave a damn about their health. And so his whole game plan was to get through, even if y'all come out flat.
Right.
First game, which probably is the thing that shook him. So he had to prepare to get them right so they don't get knocked out. Even if that happens, I'm gonna make sure you're healthy to get through the games. Unlike the past, Jill would have had everybody playing every game.
Yeah.
And then they would have lost today.
Yeah.
I think he's a very different coach, right? As somebody who's had him as a coach. There's times when you're like, you're overthinking. Like, I think my biggest thing of Vlatko is he overthinks it a lot. He's got a lot of ideas in his mind. And I think too, it's interesting watching him go from a league team where whatever collection of talent he has is what he has, and times has had to do more with less, going to the best team in the world, right? Where you are spoiled for choice. And all these ideas you've always had can come true, essentially, right? Like anything you can think of, you can literally just pluck somebody from the national team pool, plug them in, and they can do it, right? And so I think part of it is like this just excitement about, oh, this is the dream. But also like I have to coach a tournament, manage hours. It's a quick turnaround. I have a smaller squad. It's the middle of a pandemic. The weather's the weather's not great, and there's no fans. And it's his first tournament, right? It's his first major tournament, and he hadn't lost before, right? So I think all of those things collectively are sort of coming to a head. Having said that, sometimes you win ugly. It counts the same, right? So I think his thing is to just get through it. I honestly think if we make it to the championship game, we will play our very best game.
Right, yeah, I think that's it.
That's going to do it for us.
That's it.
Big thanks to our friends at Shea Butter FC, Skye and Sylvs. Thank you so much for joining us. Go follow them on Twitter. Subscribe to their podcast. If you haven't already, you are missing out.
Do it.
We'll see you here Tuesday for a wrap-up of USA versus Canada. In the meantime, rest. Hydrate. Go to a ropes course.
The big three.
Those are the big three you should do every weekend, really.
Yeah.
And we'll keep our fingers crossed till then.
Bye.
Bye.